God bless you and welcome to the channel Kingdom Crown Music Ministries. I am Prophet Kenneth Emmanuel Thornton, and today God has given me a prophetic word of encouragement for somebody on today. And that particular word can be found in the 13th chapter of the book of Matthew. And we will start reading at verse 24. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. The owner's servant came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did the weeds come from?" The servant asked him, He said, an enemy did this, he replied. The servant asked him, "Do you want us to go ahead and pull them up?" "No," he answered, "because while you are pulling the weeds up, you may also root up the wheat with them. Let both grow up together until the harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvesters, first collect the weeds and tie them into bundles to be burned, then gather the wheat and bring them into my barn." And a lot of times Jesus spoke in parables. And one of the reasons that he spoke in parables is because God has placed the kingdom of heaven as a mystery unto men. He has placed certain wisdom and certain knowledge about the kingdom of heaven as mysteries, so that the wicked and the evil would not understand and could not partake in those blessings. In this particular parable, God is referring through Jesus to the wheat, which is the children of God, and the tares, which are the children of the enemy or the devil. And a lot of times you will see in your church, in your community, that because in these last days the lines are blurred from good to evil. These lines are blurred nowadays. You can't tell a lot of times because what is evil has been made to look good, and what is good has been made to look evil. And God is in the process of gathering both the wheat and the tares at the end, so that the wheat shall be gathered into the kingdom of heaven, and the tares shall be gathered and burned in the lake of fire. And when he speaks in this parable, let them both grow up together. At that time, I will tell the harvesters are the angels. Okay? I will tell the harvesters to first collect the weeds that were sown, tie them in bundles to be burned. That's symbolic for the wicked being gathered together to be burned in the lake of fire. Then gather the wheat and bring them into my barn. God's barn is his kingdom of heaven. So we must understand on today that a lot of times God will allow the evil things to mingle with good things. He will allow there to be, and you have to be mindful that there will be evil tares within your church, within your community, sometimes even within your household. And you don't do the separating. We don't do the separating. God does the separating. Because God knows how to separate the wheat from the tares without damaging the wheat. When we overstep our bounds and try to be God, and we try to root the tares up, we end up destroying the wheat as well. So we have to be mindful that in these last days, where evil is called good and good is called evil, we have to use the wisdom of God and allow God to do the separating. Allow God to pull the weeds up, to yank the weeds out, to cast the weeds into the fire. But we must be mindful that the weeds are among us. The enemy is among us. The tares are among us. And you can see it very clearly if you have the discernment of God. And that is the only way that you will be able to tell the difference. Because as you've seen in the news lately, you got pastors that have been portraying these images and these men of God for years, and has fooled millions of people. But as you see now, God is beginning to bring the truth to the surface. He's beginning to bring the truth to the surface. And you can look on YouTube and over the internet, and you can see very clearly, if you have good godly discernment, you can see very clearly how God is placing the devil on trial. Not only is he placing the devil on trial, he's putting those that the devil has used, and that those who have offered themselves up, raised their hand and said, "I'll do your dirt, Satan." God is bringing them to justice in this last day. Look upon the news and see all of the corrupt politicians that are being exposed and brought to justice. The corrupt people in the music industry, the corrupt people in the entertainment industry, the corrupt leaders of these cults, they're being brought to trial and justice in this last and evil day. So when the enemy, tries to sow tares among the wheat, we have to be mindful not to try and do what your natural instincts would have you to do, and that's to root the tares up, root the weeds up yourself. God is well able. And that's one thing that I've learned about our Heavenly Father. He is well able to sift through what is evil and to separate it from what is good, and to bring it to justice, bring the evil to justice, bring the satanic situations and people that are using these mediums, the witches, the warlocks, bring them to justice, and keep the wheat in order to be blessed. I pray that this message has found you in health, wealth, and wisdom. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified every time God inspires me to drop one of these powerful prophetic words. Be inspired, be encouraged, and be discernful, because God has indeed separated and is indeed in the process of separating the evil from the good. God bless you. God keep you. And may heaven continue to smile upon you. Until next time, my name is Prophet Kenneth Emmanuel Thornton with Kingdom Crown Music Ministries. Take care. Peace.